Hi, and welcome to this week's Tarot of the Week. And actually, I was really a little bit confused. I've landed up choosing two cards from two different packs because I couldn't make up my mind which one to go with. And funnily enough, I've chosen two cards that have a very similar message. So, I don't know what that says about me. I don't know what that says about what's happening energetically out there. But very interesting that they're really similar in context, very different in terms of where they come from in the tarot themselves, but the message is very similar. So in the Gilded Tarot, I've chosen the Emperor, and on the Thoth deck, I chose the Two of Cups. All about love. It's about love and it's about harmony, but it's about the boundaries that we set in, the rules that we have in our lives. So let's unpack the Emperor first, and then we'll bring in the Two of Cups. So maybe this is a first, so we'll just go with it. So the Emperor, I chose him in the reverse position because that's how it came out in the pack. But what does that actually mean? And we've got the Empress, we have the Emperor. So they're a mirror image of each other, masculine and feminine energy. He is certainly about someone who is an overseer to the universe in which he resides. But being in the negative, there's a little bit of consternation there. Things in his world are not quite as they should be, or he's not quite as relaxed or feels as in control. And we've got the zodiac. So we've got the zodiac out there. So we've got the planets. He's holding the solar system in his hand, in this staff. So we've got the solar system, the planets, everything's all sort of bouncing around. And we have the clouds in the background. I'll just turn it so we see it in the upright position. So here we have the clouds here. He likes order and he likes rules and adherence to rules. He likes uniformity, conformity. But in the upright position, we're not having that. We're having to really look at our emotional sense of well-being. Are we feeling really emotionally challenged? Are we going through a period with the people in our lives where we're just being challenged? I know for some of my clients at the moment with their children, it's really difficult. So children could be their siblings, it could be their actual children, but it's that infantile mentality at the moment seems to be really difficult to deal with. And I think that there is a real issue when we are feeling emotionally challenged, when our boundaries are being really stretched to the limit, we start to question our own personal power. He is very powerful. He has the planets, the zodiac, the solar system, everything at his command. So he is the overseer, and yet we have this emotional outpouring going on. I think for those of you who are feeling emotionally stretched right now, it's really important to come back to yourself. You can tie yourself in knots, trying to placate someone, trying to please someone, trying to find resolutions. I'm a great strategic thinker, so I'm always got plans A, B, C, D, E, F, and G just to get through something, and I tie myself in knots sometimes. And so I have to just take a deep breath and go, Phyllis, just let it go, so that I've got that emotional resilience available to me rather than being, 15 steps ahead. So is that you? On an emotional level, are your emotions being completely drained and sucked out so that there's nothing left for you? You're trying to fill your cups up, but they're just leaking and leaking and leaking. I think it's interesting when we are being challenged, we need to think about our boundaries. So again, this ties into our thought processes around how we think, the words we use, etc., etc. And I think as the Emperor likes to have that bigger picture. He likes to see control. He is in charge. He feels responsible, let's say, for other people's well-being. Is that emotional responsibility actually, does it actually belong to you? Or is it time just to take a step back and allow other people to become emotionally responsible for themselves? Is it time to cut some cords? Is it time to set your own boundaries and not quiver from those boundaries? Be really enigmatic and still and staunch on your boundaries rather than being pushed and pulled and feeling stretched by other people's demands. I think as we're coming through June, we're in that halfway point in the year. We'll be coming up to the shortest day here in New Zealand, but the longest day in the Northern Hemisphere. So we've got this circadian rhythm change coming up where our bodies are going to be adjusting to different time frames, different seasons, which on a DNA level we all feel, but we may not necessarily link into that as a process or feel that as a process. But is it time to sort of look at those changes on an emotional level? Really interesting that both cards had to be chosen today. As I say, that's a first for me. I'm normally pretty good at going, oh, I'll just choose this deck for this week, but no, it had to be the two of them. And I want you to think about the work that you've done so far with the tarot readings, the changes that you've maybe implemented, the new ways of thinking, etc. And is it now time to set those boundaries, to liberate yourself from the emotional debris and dogma that is draining, hounding you, draining your energy? What's your story? If we were to capitalize on last week's card, what is the story? Are you being true to your story, or actually are you being played by someone else and you're playing their story? So very interesting, two cards today, which is really awesome. Maybe things are just changing. Obviously, the message needs to get out. And yeah, look forward to your feedback on that. Hopefully that will all make sense to you guys in how we're seeing the card or interpreting two cards being read together. Maybe this is what the lesson is about in today's card reading. I don't know. But as always, I'm giving the message with love and with a sense of integrity. I hope that comes through. And your feedback is always welcome. So until next week, be really kind to yourself, be really careful, and we'll see you soon. Until the next time, bye for now.